And we're back. There are some major issues making headlines in Kahnawake this week, along with a few light issues. So take a look at this week's Sawen Aorihwa news briefs. For months now, K103 Radio expected a grand donation of over $54,000, monies that were raised on their behalf from the second Boston Bruins alumni game held in Kahnawake this past October. The fundraising event, which was held by Brian Goodleaf of Mohawk Genevar, raised over $130,000. But now, nearly 3.5 months later, that donation still sits in the local bank. K103 Radio Board of Directors issued a statement on February 11th stating that the donation has been effectively rescinded. K103 Board Chairperson Joe Delisle says the board was shocked by Mr. Goodleaf's recent actions.
We received an email from Mr. Goodleaf telling us that conditions were now attached, conditions that A, were after the fact, and B, something that we probably couldn't accomplish anyway. So we felt that we were in no position to do anything else but let the community know that, you know, we're basically being told we're not going to be getting the money.
Okay, did he say why?
He did explain. He didn't have confidence in people on the board. It's just unfortunate that he feels that way. And he probably was not happy with something that we're not quite sure.
However, Mr. Goodleaf is sure of his reasons. He says that the money raised is for the K103 Building Fund specifically. That's why handing the donation over to K103 suddenly is up in the air.
You've put that money aside for something specific, and that's where it has to stay. There is no way that we could have sold this event to the community of Kahnawake to say, well, we need money for K103 because really they're broke and they have no money, and we want to get money for day-to-day operations. There'd be nobody in the arena, you know. And I'm perfectly clear when saying that I do not hold events to cover payrolls or to cover incidentals or day-to-day operations or traveling or bonuses, parties, etc. This is for something. This is for infrastructure.
Delisle acknowledges that K103's building fund was used years ago to help keep the station afloat. Delisle also says that K103 is far from being broke.
We have been operating now for almost 29 years. Sometimes it's flourished, sometimes it's struggled. Right now we're working towards improving services and at the same time struggling through a tough economy like a lot of other organizations are. Do we expect to be here in October 25th? Absolutely. We have a 30th anniversary coming up. You think we're going to pass that up? We plan to be here for a long, long time, and a lot of people have put in a lot of volunteer hours and the paid staff as well to make sure that we continue to serve the community the way we've done for all these years. So, you know, those kind of statements. First of all, that's not what was transmitted to us. It was match the funds or you're not getting the money, we'll give it to somebody else.
But Goodleaf stands by his position regarding the donation.
They want to take the money and they want to put it in somewhere where it was not originally intended to go. Okay. My statement to the community was that this is going to be a building fund. I didn't know what else to do with the money. I could have turned the building fund money into a voucher for building supplies. I could have turned it into anything else. But I'm looking at everything else. I'm looking at the finances. And the only way that I am sure and I am convinced that the Kahnawake will have the building fund and eventually K103 will have a new building is if I keep that money in a term. I won't keep it there forever. Because by doing what I said with regards to I would like to see their financial stability improve is maybe an incentive to them. You know, maybe it's a kick in the butt to them. It's an incentive to get up off your rear end and get out there and start selling some ads and start putting some life back into that thing and run it like a business rather than a hobby. Was sold to the community as a building fund, and a building fund it shall be.
Mohawk TV obtained the original letter that was sent on behalf of K103 Board of Directors to Brian Goodleaf. And I quote exactly from the letter. I am writing today to formally request your assistance in our fundraising efforts to replace our old and very tired facility with a new building. We feel very strongly that we deserve consideration for any financial help we receive, especially in light of the current situation which sees K103 actively applying for major funding for this purpose. While we are confident that we will have success in accessing dollars for the physical building, there are no provisions for studio and office equipment, furniture, etc. Now, this is where it seems to be that people are disagreeing. Should the monies be used for the construction of a new K103 building, or should the monies be used for the physical building and the expenses associated with that upgrade? Either way, the situation remains at a stalemate.
This one stings so much as, you know, K103 gives, and the one time it's going to take, well, then we're not getting it. So it does sting. From a personal point of view and a professional point of view, yeah, we'll get past it. But, you know, the community also has a say in this. And I know from the many people who've come up to me, they just say that this is wrong and it should not be this way. Nothing that has been shown to us or to the community gives anybody any reason to say that that's an acceptable thing. You make a commitment to help an organization that obviously needs a helping hand. It's a community organization, a non-profit organization that has employed our own people for years and years. And to ask that we have matching funds in the bank is like, actually what we said at the meeting was, well, if we didn't need the money, we wouldn't have asked for it, right?
If it can be resolved, I'll take it. I've received legal opinions already, but I'll take it a step further. And if the money is not resolved, but at the date that I had given them, then I will take that money and I will distribute it amongst the community.